afternoon, everyone, once again, and welcome to CONVO Confessions and Volitions with yours truly, Joey Ting. At makakasama ko po ngayong hapon, nako, isa to sa mga inaabangan ko ang career because of his path towards success, towards fame, and towards fortune. Sana maambunan ako ng fortune na yon. Please welcome, nako, the most sought after production designer / filmmaker in the future, lalo na po. Please welcome Mr. Iro Ives Francisco. Yay!
Hello po guys.
Nako, Iro, kumusta ka na?
Okay naman po. Thank God I'm still alive. I'm still alive given our situation.
Yeah, you know, kasi syempre nandito pa rin tayo sa kumbaga parang last stage daw of pandemic. This is the last phase. So itong last phase na to has brought us some hope, no, na sana bumalik na sa normal ang lahat, ano. But of course, it will take time, no? It will take some kind of tedious process. Hindi naman siya ganun kadali, ano. Saka yung mga tao parang natatakot na lumabas.
Opo.
Diba? Hindi naman lahat. So, ikaw dyan, kamusta ka dyan, Iro? Iro is, ay nako, naging estudyante ko siya. Sobrang napakasinop niya sa pag-aaral. That's what I remember sa iyo talaga. Napakasinop mo, napaka-focused, napaka-dedicated mo sa ginagawa mong pag-aaral. And hindi ako nagdalawang isip na makita na ang pangalan mo as an award-winning production designer. And nakakatuwa at your young age, sobrang awards na yung nakuha mo left and right, all over, at sobrang humble ka pa rin, Iro. What is the formula? And by the way, kung bago mo sabihin yung what is the formula, how are you muna? How are you?
Well, right now, I think I'm thinking okay naman so far, given despite our situation right now, the middle of the pandemic. I think actually we're almost back to normal somehow in terms of shooting in the industry. Projects are still left and right, or I'm not sure if it's because it's Christmas season right now, so a lot of projects are coming out.
Yes.
But definitely it's a bit hard in a way because our experience of shooting before is really different compared to what we have right now. I mean, we have, if when you shoot, you need to be locked in, especially if you're shooting a film for, let's say, maybe around 15 days, ganyan. So we really need to create a bubble. So ako personally, there are times that I miss my family, of course, kasi a lot of times I'm designing the project, I'm in constant conversation with my team. So may times talaga na ano, hindi ako naging active at home. But at the end of the day, I think okay naman so far, kasi at least once in a while we still have breaks in a way, because the major change that happened in the industry is that we really need to know what we want in terms of creating the film, the vision, etc. So it needs to be approved and critically aligned with the director, the producer. So in terms of pre-production work, the scope, the timeline, the timetable, mas humaba po siya. So mas nasisilip natin, okay, does this work, etc. ganyan. So we have more time. So with that one naman, I think I spend more time with my family. Yun lang, ano lang talaga, but it's me, ano lang ako talaga, homesick kind of person.
Yes,
so pag nagla-lock in. But yeah, I think so far that's my situation amidst this pandemic. Yun po.
At nag-enjoy ka naman doon. Siyempre kung kunyari, ito iniisip ko kasi, kunyari naka-lock-in ka, of course you're gonna sleep there, diba? If you're locked in, no? So kumbaga nandun ka na. Kasi alam mo minsan, diba, kunyari, let's say if you're in one location, then pack up na, you're gonna travel pa, diba? Going back home. Tapos ang aga mo rin pala uuwi, so babalik ka na naman doon. So parang in a way, parang kumbaga parang i-nurture mo na lang yung, ayan yung tutulugan ko, ang lapit lang. Ganon. And At the same time, na-enjoy mo din ba yung gano'n?
Actually, may pros and cons po siya. In terms of design, I would say, logistics, and then
Okay.
ganun po. Kasi parang when you're locked inside a bubble, you cannot go out bawal na
Oo,
lumabas.
bawal na
Ganun po siya.
lumabas. Correct.
So, as a production
They're very
designer,
strict. They're very strict, no? Talagang hindi
yes.
pwede.
Opo, hindi po talaga pwedeng lumabas. So, in terms of preparation for production design, we really need to secure all the props, the
Yun na nga.
decorations before we enter the bubble. So, compared to the pre-pandemic situation, we're really pwede kasi staggered di ba? So
pwedeng pakuha dito, pakuha mo doon.
Pwede po yung ganun eh. Ngayon, hindi na po. That's why we also, yung mga biglaang requests, hindi po siya talaga honored somehow. Kasi it should have been presented early on. Yun po siya. But
paano yun si Direk? Kasi pag director, minsan,
biglang may naiisip kong bago.
Instinctive. Or does the director work on what you have inside the bubble? From there, doon siya nakakapag-isip. Ganun ba?
Well, technically, ano po siya talaga dapat na-present na po early on and na-discuss namin. So, yun po muna. And then, ako naman as a production designer, of course, I also want to support the vision of my director. So, ako kasi medyo panikero ako. So, I bring as much props that I can and see what works around best within my set. So, pag may naisip po ang director ko, baka meron akong dala. So, yun pong ginagawa ko. I bring as much things that I can
nasa sasakyan mo, gano'n.
Opo, gano'n po siya. Naka-truck, ganyan.
So, ibig sabihin ko, kunyari, yung mga artista, ang dala nila mga damit, di ba, mga wardrobe.
Opo.
Yun ang nasa likod ng kotse nila. Ikaw naman, mga props.
Mga props. Sobrang daming props. Ganun.
Grabe, oo nga. And dyan sa bahay mo ba, meron kang parang warehouse, parang, or room na full of props?
I have po. In fact, I have 2 bodegas right now. So I have one here at home and then I have one with my art director. Because ang dami na po talaga.
Sa dami ng ginawa mo. Yun yung equation kasi nun, Iro. Kaya ka nadadamihan kasi ganun na kadami yung ginawa mo. You're such a prolific artist. Kasi nga, kaliwat kanan, sabi ko nga, natutulog po kaya to si Iro. Kaliwat kanan. Di ba sa'yo din yung parang yung rosas at baril ba yun? Or
babae at baril po.
Babae at baril. Sa'yo din yun, di ba?
Yes po, opo.
See? Everywhere I see your name. And so, pero sino talaga si Iro right now of course nung nagpumutok yung pandemic, hindi ka ba nagka-anxiety or parang, oh my gosh, ano mangyayari? Parang ganon. May uncertainty. Nung March 2020.
Actually, to be honest, I was really anxious when the pandemic started po talaga, Sir Joey. Kasi the thing is, 2019, I think it's really the start of my career.
Yun nga.
Talaga siya. So
parang
I think I was going up the ladder.
Parang papik na, oo.
Opo. So I started with Dead Kids. I did Between Maybes.
Guys, siya yung gumawa ng Dead Kids pala. Of course. Nung napanood natin sa Netflix, ayan, siya ang production designer. And what else?
So,
yun na yun di ba? Dead Kids na. Nagsunod-sunod ka na. Kay Mikael yun, di ba?
Opo, kay Mick Red po, opo.
Yes, of course.
And then, parang, I was really getting a lot of good projects and projects that I really like. Because I think at the beginning of my career, I was also doing projects just to get my name also in the limelight, kumbaga.
Yes.
But right now kasi the project during 2019, it's really so far the year that I really loved kasi a lot of films that I got are the ones with with a soul, I would say, so the filmmakers are really passionate in terms of sharing their voice and they want to collaborate with me, and I was really happy to be in collaboration with them. So it was the peak of my career. It was my first time to win an award, something like that.
Right.
And then come end of 2019, may ano na, may brewing ano na, news about the
Oo, na
pandemic.
parang, oo.
Magkakaroon po ganyan. So, I was a bit anxious because at the beginning of 2020, it's the start of heavy designed projects na na-offer po sa akin. So, I to the point na gagawa ako ng ano talaga, world. And production design is world building.
Ay, grabe.
Ganun po siya, di ba? To the point that I'm going to mock up all the costumes, their lives, the world. I will construct the houses to that level. And
grabe. Ano yung science, parang science fiction, ganon? Or hindi naman?
Something like that.
Okay, fantasy. So kaya
actually,
kailangan
meron
talaga
din pong science fiction. Ganon.
Mm.
So I think when the pandemic started, came March, all of those projects halted. Kasi for one thing, they're not sure if they're allotting a lot of budget. I mean, for a fantasy film, for a science fiction film, diba? They don't know if they will gain revenue, given that people are not allowed to go outside the premises of their houses, diba?
Yes.
So they need to stop production somehow, and most of them are during pre-production stage. So lahat ng project po na hawak ko na cancel siya or shelve.
Na shelve muna. And then nasa bahay ka na noon. Kumbaga parang naging anxious ka na. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Nag-stop lahat ng mga ano.
And parang peak po yun ng career. So it also kind of stopped somehow.
And then, but yung creativity mo, saan mo dinivert while you're inside the first few months, no? Kasi alam ko medyo parang nagtrabaho ka na rin, no? In the middle of the year, I think, nung last 2020.
Opo.
So, kumbaga parang prior to the unang trabaho of last year's 2020, anong ginagawa mo dyan sa bahay?
Actually, dumami din po. I think because the pandemic started, nagkaroon ako ng oras. So it's a time for me to be able to sleep somehow, ganyan. But also, it's also a time for me to, kumbaga, study or evaluate somehow production design work with my co-production designers.
Para nag-reflect ka, ganyan.
Opo. So I got into discussion with co-production designers in terms of professionalizing even more the practice of production design. So we got into discussion, ano ba ang mga mali or something that we can improve on in terms of our work. And also, it's also the time when we're still creating the protocols. So I also got involved with IGA, with our pool of production designers in terms of creating the correct protocols that we can use once we reach shooting po.
Ganda nun So parang naglalatag na kayo ng mga polisiya, mga guidelines, no? And
yes,
how to do it. Ganda.
And how to do it.
Yes, kasi professionalizing production design in the Philippines, di ba? Pero ano to, association ba to? Of course, through Zoom lang to. Mga ganun online.
Yes, through Zoom po. Actually, we're not yet public, I would say, but we have a Facebook page.
Okay.
We're production designer circle of the
ang ganda nun. At saka maganda kasi baka new breed, puro mga bagets ba kayong nandoon, or meron ding mga may idaran ng konti.
Mix naman po, but definitely all of us are current practicing production designers.
So mga youngsters, no?
Kind of, I would say.
So, okay. So maganda kasi at least may pool kayo, tapos pare-pareho kayo ng sentiments, pare-pareho din kayo ng interests, no? And then of course, so you try to be productive even if you're kulong there. Pero household chores, wala ba? Wala ka bang ginawa? Ikaw ba yung type of person, Iro, na nasa loob lang ng kwarto the whole day, lumalabas lang pagkakain na, gano'n. Usually, kasi minsan gano'n ako, yung, lalo na kung may sinusulat ako, or may nahabol akong screenplay, or meron akong sinusulat na criticism, ganyan. Nakakulong talaga ako the whole day sa room. Gano'n ka ba pag nag-work?
Pag nag-work po, yes. But during the pandemic, it was really a time for me to be with my family. So,
Oo, kasi wala ka namang mga deadlines,
opo,
di
wala
ba?
masyadong deadline. So, I really gave time with my family. And then, it's really also my hobby kasi to paint. So, during the pandemic, I kept on doing watercolor paintings, etc., something like that. Just so it also keeps my mental health sane, I would say, something like that.
Yes.
Kasi
Therapy, no?
opo, kasi parang with my work with production design, although somehow ano siya, fast-paced kind of work, no? And sometimes you're trying to assess if you're still creative. I think I needed a creative outlet, kumbaga, just so
Sample,
I
sample,
can
sample, sample, sample.
nakatago po pero ayun.
No,
But
kasi
yun po yung naging
at
gawain
least, di
ko.
ba? Oo, at saka feeling ko, it's your soul that comes out in the work, I'm sure. Kasi, yun nga, parang you're doing it in the time of idleness in your profession. At the same time, ito yung time na mas nakikilala mo yung sarili mo,
Opo.
hero. And I think many artists were given the chance to know themselves more because of the pandemic. I think that's
Opo.
the positive side of it na dahil na force tayong magstay sa bahay, mas kinilala natin yung mga tao sa loob ng bahay
Opo.
rather than going out. And then you became so close also probably with your family members,
Opo.
your parents, or even so malambing ka na talaga or malapit ka na ba, Iro, before?
Ako, actually, malapit na rin naman na po talaga ako with my family. In fact, as much as possible, I don't actually remember lying to my family ever.
Ganon.
So, ano
So
po
laging
talaga ako sa kanya.
totoo yung sinasabi mo.
Opo,
ganyan.
crystal clear po talaga. May pagka-prangka din po kasi ako. Ganon.
Ilan ba kayo magkakapatid dyan?
4 po kami magkakapatid.
Pag-ilan ka, Iro?
Pangatlo po ako. And ano
Ako
po,
pareho
actually,
tayo. Pangatlo. Ay, hindi, pero second to the last bunso. Papaano ka pala? Second to the last.
opo.
5 kami kasi eh. So gitna ako talaga. Kaya may pagka-black sheep.
May pagka-black sheep din naman po ako.
Ganun din ba? Okay. So, pero yung kuya ate ba? Yung panganay? Yung
Opo.
pangalawa? Parehong kuya?
Ate po yung panganay and then kuya po yung pangalawa.
Nandun sila.
Po,
Diyan pa rin
lalaki
sila
po.
nakatira.
Yung sister ko po got married start of 2021. Yun po.
Ay, ito
Tapos yung
lang,
kuya ko
recent
kasama ko
lang.
pa rin. Opo,
Recent
recent
lang.
lang po.
So, wala na, nag-move out na si ate.
Opo, nag-move out na po yung ate ko.
Kasi of course with the family, no?
Opo.
And then si kuya, andyan pa.
Andito pa po. Pero feeling ko malapit na rin po yung magpakasal.
Okay. And then of course, ikaw na. And then si bunso is still studying, parang gano'n.
Hindi na po, working na rin po yung
Working
yung
na sa kayo lahat.
Opo, working
So
na
professionals na kayo lahat. Nakakatuwa.
Opo.
So dapat nag-relax na si mom at si dad.
Yes po, actually.
Yun ang ginagawa nila, no? Medyo relax na sila kasi at least, di ba? So how do you make lambing to them? Naglalambing ka ba? Paano ka ba madlambing? Nagpapa-take out ka?
Yes.
Nagaganon ka? Yung may mga, syempre, papalala move or kaya grab, ganon na food,
Opo.
no?
Actually, ano po siya, Sir Joey, I guess it's also connected with how I got involved or I came into liking film, no? We really, simple lang naman kasi yung family ko po eh. So, enjoying a film together, as in, level na, we watch Game of Thrones together. Ganong kind siya. Ganong kind. And even the films that you wouldn't expect na families would watch, like films with explicit scenes. Where something like that. So we're really open with each other talaga. And actually parang yung parents ko po barkada ang treatment namin with each other. Ganong level. So in terms of lambing, yun po talaga yun. Really spending time together, eating out together, watching a film together. Yun siya. And especially right now in the pandemic, yun po yung nangyari talaga. So we really have time with our family.
And because you're young, kasi iniisip ko nga nagluluto kaya to si Iro. Nagluluto ka din. So and then of course if yung ihahain mo with your parents, kanyan, So ano usually kinukook mo? Mga Italian food, ganon?
Hindi
Or
naman po,
mga pasta or mga Filipino food? Ano,
ako po,
or mga prito-prito lang?
I realized mahilig po talaga ako sa Pinoy kind of foods. So, usually naman po when I cook, I also cook with my mom. So, mas yung mom ko po kasi yung nagde-decide what to cook. And then I just help out, something like that. So, kunyari, sinigang, yung mga ganun-ganun po, adobo, ganyan. But ako in terms of taste po, I really like Pinoy food and Japanese food. Yun siya. So, siguro within the family, mas yun din yung nagiging luto namin.
And plantita, nagganong ka ba? Yung parang plants, di ba yung mga, yung generation nyo kasi, tapos biglang nahumaling din sa mga plants, no? And of course, syempre yung mga kuya-kuya nyo, no? Ganon, or ate. Nagganon ka ba?
Actually, yes po, Sir Joey. Kasi the thing is, ever since bago pa po nauso talaga yung mga plantita, mahilig na po ako sa plants talaga. As in, I'm not sure kung nakwento po sa inyo to nung college, no? Ako po nagla-landscape sa amin. As in college
talagang dinidesign, pino-production design mo na talaga.
Opo,
even yung
college
mga
pa lang.
plants.
Ganun po.
Ang galing. So, and mahilig din ang mommy, let's say, sa plants, ganyan. So, kaya
actually, buong family po.
Mahilig sa plants.
Ano po kasi, Sir Joey, my mom is an interior designer. My dad, ate, and kuya are architects.
So, and then talaga.
Actually, my name, Sir Joey, is a name of an architect. I was the only son named after an architect. But hindi ako naging architect.
Oo nga. Pero production designer. Nagke-create, sa structure pa rin at nagke-create. Aero, how do you, pronounce it? Aero?
Actually, Aero po siya. Aero
Events. And that's actually a name of an architect.
Of a Finnish architect po, si Eero Saarinen po.
Galing. So, kasi nga pala, family of din kayo, architects.
Opo.
Ikaw lang yung napunta sa production. Bakit ang landscape architecture, diba? Ay pag-aayos ng mga gardens and then
actually, I want to do that nga po eh. I'm thinking of enrolling to a second degree ng landscape architecture.
Yeah. Alam mo kasi, ako din, I got interested with landscape architecture, during high school. Parang yan yung pinag-aaralan ko, yan, and then theater arts. And medyo napunta talaga ako sa performing arts kasi parang nahuhumaling ako sa yung the lights, the live, yung live shows talaga.
Production
kaya
value.
Parang frustrated ako a director for mga variety shows. Yung gusto ko nagde-direct ng variety kasi ang grand, parang ang elegant, parang ganon, rather than really nakababad sa init ng araw. Pag drama director, di ba, nakababad, talagang lapot ka, talagang bimpo yung kasama nyo, di ba? Dito ganun yung mga
ako po ganun.
So anyway, those are the days na I think makaka-relate yung mga viewers natin sa'yo, lalo na napakabata mo pa pero you were given the lucky chances of penetrating the industry. Pero hindi nila alam, syempre, kurso mo ito 'di ba? Kumbaga ito yung dito umiko talaga yung college life mo. At kayo mismo bilang magkaka-batchmates ang nagtulungan actually sa pagpasok, no? Referral, 'di ba? Referral this and that 'yun Ganun ang nangyari. And kaya kumbaga parang nagpatuloy ka. But of course, kaya tinatanong ko sa umpisa kung kumusta ka. I think you look so great. You look like, you look like very, very, na ngayon, hectic, ganyan. So parang feeling ko, ang swerte ko na ma-interview ka. And eto na, pumasok na kamo yung work, no? Nagulat ka ba na biglang nag-push? Buti si parents, hindi, naku, Iro, hindi pwede. Kasi pandemic, paano ka mag-work? Baka mahawa ka. Or ba? So, kailan yun? Middle of the year of last year yun. 2020. Last year. Tumawag, ganun. May tumawag sa'yo, ganun. Kwento mo nga, Iro?
Parang around, kasi pre-pandemic po talaga, may project po na
kumbaga parang na-startan na.
Opo. So parang nakapag-ano na kami, actually na-meet ko na yung team, yung director, yung nakapag-usap na kami together, nakapag-huddle na kami. And then na-halt lang siya because of the pandemic. But then when we have already created the protocols, one of the first projects that started is that project po talaga. So mid-year, parang around July, nag-uusap na po kami until siguro July, August, pre-production po yun. So we're conducting Zoom meetings, ganyan, etc. And then, of course, my parents are also asking me, is it already safe to
Yun na nga.
to be within a shoot, ganyan. So may times na I think I really have to convince my parents also. Part of it because well, I also need to work apart from my teaching job po, no.
No.
Ang naging defense ko po talaga, or what I presented to them, are the protocols po talaga. Kasi at least I was also involved in the creation of the protocols. So alam ko po yung protocols. So kinukwento ko po sa nila kung ano yung magiging process. And then I was telling them the changes from our pre-pandemic situation. Kasi before, we're shooting 24 hours, ganyan. So definitely, when you're shooting the whole day, your immune system goes down, di ba? Kasi napapagod ka. But in the new normal of shooting, we're just limited to 12 to 14 hours.
May time limit na.
May ganun po. So it also became somehow ano bang tamang term? Parang watch list for us to monitor our health, of course, no. So we're not affected by the virus. And then yun po talaga yung napakita ko, and I'm also glad that I was able to convince my parents that this is workable.
Siyempre, di ba, scary din naman kasi buhay mo yung nakataya eh. Kumbaga parang, siyempre iisipin ng parents ko, hala, mamaya mahawa siya doon. Di ba? So, di ba, siyempre kahit paano may reservations yan. But because yun nga, sabi mo nga, of course, we need to work. But guys, ano nga pala, si Iro kasi ay isa rin teacher, no? Professor siya actually sa De La Salle College of St. Benil Digital Filmmaking Program, where he actually got his degree there, no? Ako nga siya naging student when I was teaching in Benil, no? Isa yan sa mga favorites ko talaga si Iro. And of course yung batch niya no became very close to me kasi maano yung batch niya malambing, marami kayo na sikat na ngayon actually. Mga sikat na ngayon na mga filmmakers yung batch nyo. And then nagtuturo ka rin ng production design sa technical theater department din ng De La Salle. So kaya nakakatuwa kasi talaga medyo ito yung field na talagang you are excelling with, no? And at the same time, because you're a filmmaker, kaya may mata ka kaya ka nag-excel because may mata ka as a filmmaker. And hindi naging hadlang yung of course yung passion mo, yung dedication mo. So you went on with the shoot. Eto na. So pumasok ka na sa shoot, of course, nag-lock in kayo, ganon. Naninibago ka, ganon. And then, nagsunod na, meron na. Parang nagtuloy-tuloy na yung projects until, kasi ngayon, 2021, So, nakailan ka na? Ang dami na ba?
Right now po, I'm not really sure if it's a positive or it's a good, or it's a positive or a negative thing, no. Pero nung nag-start po kasi yung project ko that time, kinda we're testing the protocol somehow. Kasi I think we're one of the first ones to start shooting.
Naipalabas na ba ito?
Hindi pa po.
Hindi.
Pero na siya?
Hindi pa pinopromote, so we cannot mention it, no?
Actually, pwede ko na pong i-mention. So,
okay.
It's part of I forgot the specific festival in Tokyo right now. It's Arisaka by Mikhail Red. Ayun po. Ayun.
So, international to? International
Yung first release po namin is international. At least it
Okay.
premiered po. Asian premiere po
Doon na
siya.
yon. Hindi siya parang in competition, ganon.
Hindi ko po sure. Parang in
Or
competition po
exhibition.
siya.
In
Feeling ko po
competition.
in competition.
Sinong director mo?
Si Direct Mikhail Red po.
Siya din.
Opo.
So, naging tandem na kayo ni Direct
Mikhail Red po.
Mikhail Red. Of
Opo.
course, yung gumawa ng
Dead Kids.
yung
Birdshot.
Dead Kids, Birdshot, tapos yung
Eerie.
yung Z, yung Z?
Block
Z,
Block Z.
which I actually watched and I got a chance to meet him personally because I watched with him during the premiere doon sa Dolphy Theater. Noong time na yon, Block Z. Ikaw ba production design nun? Hindi. Noong time
Hindi
na
po.
Kailangan
Block Z po kasi during shooting, kasabay po niya Dead Kids. So I was doing Dead
So
Kids.
dalawa yung proyekto niya simultaneous. Ang galing naman.
Isa din po yung hindi natutulog eh.
Grabe, no? And so, okay. And then, so eto na. Anong title ng film nyo?
The title of the film is Arisaka po. It's the Japanese gun used during the World War II. Yun
grabe. So, nako, abangan natin kasi baka ito na nga siya.
We're also hoping that it's going to be exhibited here in the Philippines soon.
Yun nga. So, pero wala kayong partnership, let's say, with other international, another independent feature ba to?
Technically, I think it's independent feature po under 1017p.
Okay.
Yun po.
Kay ano yan? Kay Direct Paul Soriano.
Yes po.
1017. Yeah. So, isa pang napaka-charming na director. Nakatrabaho mo na ba si Direct Paul?
Na-meet ko lang po during a workshop.
Okay.
Well, uma-attend din po, nag-ano rin po siya.
Nag-attend ng pre-prod.
Opo.
Okay. Oo, kasi maganda rin may experience ko with him, no? Hopefully with all of these directors.
Maalaga po sila eh.
Nagtuloy-tuloy na siya. Kumbaga, nagtuloy-tuloy na. And then, dumating na yung next year, kumbaga, the following year, 2021, okay ka pa rin. So, ibig sabihin, you were kumbaga one after the other na nagla-lockdown. Okay kayo, wala nagpa-positive. Walang parang nagkasakit or na hospital or something. Wala naman.
Yung first project ko po, wala naman po so far. But my next project, I actually turned out positive dun sa next project ko po. It's a TV series. It's a series. And then it's really because
naipapalabas na, hindi pa.
Napalabas na po siya.
Okay.
But I think because we turned out positive, we did not finish the other episodes because we really got scared. Yun po siya.
So nag-positive ka. And during this time na nag-positive ka, because again, dadaan sa protocol, so kailangan magpa-swab, and so it turned out positive. So ang ginawa, pinauwi kayo, parang gano'n.
For us na nag-positive po, nag-quarantine kami. And I think it's really, for me, I think it's the worst part of the year.
Actually,
last year. Kasi, ano po siya, Sir Joey, I was quarantined start of December and I went out December 23. So,
oh my God.
I was inside my hotel room for about 23 days. So, ano siya, mas nakaka-rattle siya because you're not...
mas nakakapraning pala yun.
Opo, yung quarantine period. Yun.
Nagpaka-busy ka rin doon sa loob ng quarantine hotel? What did you do with that?
I conducted my classes inside.
Oh my God.
Pero I did not tell my students that I had COVID.
Hala, paano to?
I did not. Kasi Sir Joey, the thing is, the students are also thriving during the pandemic. So actually I have students who were also crying to me. So I don't want to invalidate their feelings also during that time. So yun po yung nangyari. And I was constantly video calling my family ganyan. I actually cried when I learned that I turned out positive.
Pero parang like asymptomatic type, ganon? Or
symptomatic po ako. But I'm not really sure because I was afraid. Yeah, I feeling ko hindi pala siya asymptomatic because I had chills at night.
Naka.
So I was afraid, sabi ko, symptom ba to, ganyan.
Oo.
And then
And when you say
eventually,
chill, ano yung parang nanginginig ka? Parang nilalamig ka, ganon?
ano
Parang,
siya direct,
nanginginig.
parang nilalamig na pinagpapawisan, pero hindi ka mainit.
Oo. So,
Ganun.
very weird feeling.
Opo,
Very weird.
very weird yung feeling po talaga. And
And,
it only happens at night.
oh my gosh. And what about the loss of
Hindi
taste?
naman po.
Hindi
Hindi
naman
naman po ako
meron
nawalan
naman.
ng panlasa sa
So, pero wait, etong yung quarantine hotel na sinasabi mo is sponsored, parang ganon, by the production or no? Parang on your own
It's
na.
sponsored po by the production. It's also because we also pushed for the production to shoulder it, because it's also not our fault that the virus got in, because we were actually what do you call this, we were promoting the protocols, and there were rules that were not followed. And so when we revisited, we did the contact tracing, it's really because there were protocols that were not followed. So at the end of the day, when we got into conversation with the production, we told them it's really because we did not follow. And we department heads were telling the
Yes.
production to
Oo.
follow.
Oo.
So I think when they realized that, then they agreed to shoulder the quarantine facility.
In fairness, brainy ka doon sa aspect. Hindi, pero tama ka naman, no? Very logical na, sino hindi mahahawa dito? Hindi nga kayo, nag-violate nga kayo ng protocol. O kaya may nag-breach, di ba?
Yes,
Ng
yun po
protocol.
talaga.
So, talaga magiging risk yung sitwasyon natin ditong lahat. Katulad
Opo.
yan, o nag-positive ako, o paano yan?
Yun po talaga yung problem. That's why I'm also glad that the production listened to us. Kasi otherwise, I think the quarantine period and the quarantine facility is going to be really expensive for us. I mean, not just me, but those working below the line.
Yun na nga. Diba? What I mean is, syempre kung na sarili mo na yon, gagastos ka. So lahat ng pinaghirapan mo din, doon mo din kukunin yung sa savings mo and all, di ba?
And we're just, Sir Joey, because since we got packed up, we did not finish the shoot. Then di ba we have this parang
ano yan?
rule.
So nung lumabas, pack up, ganon.
Pack up po. So
agad.
So ang lumalabas, my art department were actually asking me, mababayaran po ba tayo kasi na-pack up? So yun po yung mga naging main concerns that we had to raise.
And, okay.
Ang ginawa ko po, we also contacted the production house and then asked them to pay those below the line in full, while us department heads will be in half. Yun po. And it was really a long set of meetings talaga, even with DOH, DOLE, FDCP. And I'm really glad we got to...
Kinampihan din kayo kahit papaano. So in short, nabayaran naman yung mga tao.
Nabayaran naman po.
Pero yun nga, ang risk, no? Talagang yun ang risk naman sa life of an artist, no? Whether to get in or not, no? So buti hindi ka na trauma after that. Of course, after the 23 day stay in the quarantine hotel, when you went home, you were okay na.
When I went home, I'm still positive, Sir Joey, but they computed my antibodies. Mas marami na kasing COVID antibodies. So technically, safe na, because doon naman po sa COVID, after 10 days na non-reactive yung virus, kumbaga you're not showing symptoms, because nawala na po yung chill sa akin eh. After 10 days, it's safe to say that you're recovered. It's just that you have COVID virus residue, but they're dead virus. Yun po yun. So when I got home, ako personally, sinabi ko lang din sa parents ko, I still want to quarantine. Kasi matanda na po yung parents ko. So I'm also afraid that I would be infecting them. So
yun nga.
for 1 week, siguro Christmas Day, nagka-Christmas sa labas ng bahay. Nakalayo lang ako, ganyan. And then, nandun po ako. Tapos ibang...
Or nakaganon ka, no?
Opo. Ako lang po yung gumagano during that time. Ayun po.
And so, luckily, wala naman nangyaring masama.
Wala naman po nangyaring
after,
masama.
hanggang sa nawala na. So,
Opo.
nung nawala na, 2021, nag-resume na? Balik na ulit?
At first, I was traumatized, Sir Joey. So, I was controlling my projects and I was saying no to a lot of projects actually.
Okay.
And then, but one thing to consider also is that since the cinemas are not open, there are onti ang offers for film. Yeah. And most projects are exhibited, yung exhibition nila sa digital platform po talaga.
Puro digital platforms.
Opo. So most ng offers po sa akin ay commercials. Mostly commercials. And
nagko-commercial ka din pala.
Nagko-commercial. In fact, Sir Joey, when I graduated,
commercial muna, pinunta mo advertising.
Commercial po muna ang pinasukan ko po muna. Ayun po.
So, doon, wala nang bubble, di ba?
May bubble pa rin naman po, but
meron.
Just one day. Parang
3 days ka lang sa kanila, gano'n.
Opo, parang hindi lang kayo pwede lumabas during the day, ganyan.
Okay. So lesser worries and lesser pains, of course. And yun, so tumatanggap ka ng mga TVC, ganyan.
Opo, tumatanggap pa rin po ako ng mga TVCs, gano'n.
And eto na, dumating na tayo sa, of course, going to 2022 na. Of course, baka pag napanood nga nila to 2022 na, no? And kumbaga parang may mga nakapila ka pa rin. Meron ka pa rin ba mga pre-production films or TV series na halt and then nag-resume na? May mga ganun ka pa ba? Or puro bago na talaga ngayon yung mga projects na dumadating?
Meron pong previous projects sa akin that started contacting me already because I think they're now prepared to resume with the shoot come 2023. And then I also have new projects that actually marami po nag-consult sa akin kumuha ngayong year na ang target na po talaga nila ay for next year. So it's really a
talaga long term.
Opo, yung projection nila is 2023 na po talaga.
Grabe. Pero sobrang haba ng preparation, but that's not a problem to you, right? Because kumbaga parang pag hinahire ka naman, package naman na ito.
Opo. At least mas manageable din po in terms of timetable. So I told one project to another that someone also contacted me. So if the target shoot is around 2023, let me know which month, ganyan. Para mabablock off ko lang po.
So in short, nakikipagsapalaran ka na ulit, no? Of course, puro a lot of meetings, no? So mostly you do it at home dyan sa bahay.
Opo, madami lang po talagang meeting. And I think it's also because everyone had to move to the internet. A lot of suppliers were also available over the internet. Ganun. So medyo, I would say, marami ding nako-contact na lang tapos deliver. Ganun po.
At saka in a way, para mas naging mabilis. In a way, yung communication. Kasi, ayan, gaganito na lang ako sa loob ng kwarto, di ba? Hahanas na lang ako. Nasaan si supplier? Ayan na, pumasok na. Supplier, nasaan na yung di ba? Direkta na kaysa yung magbabiyahe ka pa, maliligo ka pa, mag-prepare ka pa, may traffic, and then saka ka papapasok sa office. No? So medyo natanggal yun. No? Naging efficient tayo sa time framing. Masasabi mo ba na medyo nasanay ka na rin na nasa house ka lagi?
Ako, yes po, somehow. Kasi I think the way the pandemic affected us, we really need to hindi naman throw away, pero parang move on to another platform. Kumbaga, even education po eh.
Yes.
So parang
Ako kasi diyan ka nagkaklase
productive.
ba? Diyan ka
Opo, dito rin po ako
nagkaklase?
nagkaklase din po eh. So,
Oo eh.
we really need to, kumbaga, reassess our current, back then, no, our old
Yeah.
normal, and then create a new one where we're in. It's easy for everyone else. Ganun po eh.
Yes. Ano ba, paano ba? So you have one production design class in DF and then another one in TT, Technical Theater. Ganon. Sa dalawang subject or minsan nagtatatlong subjects ka, ganon.
Minsan nagtatatlo, apat pa po akong
Ganon.
classes, but it really depends po on the term and with the curriculum. But yes, I teach po under the digital filmmaking department, production design department, and sometimes sa general po with architecture, multimedia arts,
Kasi
for
nga
those who
design.
have, opo, because they have also film classes. Ganun po.
Galing. So, and medyo nag-e-enjoy ka sa pagtuturo, no?
Ako, I'm really enjoying, especially production design, Sir Joey, kasi it's really because I'm sharing also my craft, the way I create my designs, and then what if I usually kasi incorporate meanings to my designs eh.
Yeah.
So for me kasi when I compose design for a shot, it's like creating a painting, diba? And when you go and a painting is something that maybe you interpret when you go inside a museum, diba?
Yes.
So mas ganun siya sa akin. May pagkamalalim a bit. Ganyan.
Actually, no, kasi syempre yung, 'di ba, importante din yung past experiences mo as a student, no?
Opo.
And lalo na kung marami ka na-acquire ng mga theories, mga ganyan.
Opo.
Na-explore mo yung the theory and the practice, no, as it says, no, na talagang pag practitioner ka, sana maaral mo both your theory and practice, no, your theory and then its application. And I think that's what's happening to you. You really read a lot of siguro, no, mga books, mahilig ka rin, ano?
Opo. Actually, I buy books even online. Ganyan
talagang ka rin. Talagang...
Parang, I think as a teacher, it was also, for me, I need to constantly educate myself also. Yun po.
Buti hindi mo naisip na baka kailangan ko mag-masters sa ibang bansa.
I'm actually considering that, Sir Joey.
Diba?
I'm looking for masters po.
Pagkakaguluhan ka ng mga universities abroad for sure. With your credentials, I'm sure makakakuha ka ng scholarship. Yung institution pa or agency pa magbabayad sa'yo for you to study. So may mga ganong scholarship. Patulong ka sa, kilala mo na, like, of course, si Professor Toxrodakio is with the Technical Theater, right? So ang dami niyang network na dyan, I'm sure, di ba, in the future. And si Direct Joey Reyes pa rin, who's Jose Javier Reyes, who is still the head, di ba, of the digital filmmaking, ay napakalawak ng network niya for sure.
Yes po.
Magandang ma-recommend ka soon, no? Kasi ang bata mo pa eh. Ang dami pa pwede mangyari sa iyo. But in the meantime that you're doing both, no? The current, you're doing both. And you're doing your practice and you're doing your teaching. Ano yung nag-way sa iyo pag gano'n?
Parang pantay naman po sa akin, Sir Joey.
Binabalance mo muna.
Opo. I think may time din na minsan nakakapagod magturo. So ang nagiging outlet ko po is shooting a film or with being inside a shoot, ganyan. And then for a shoot naman, a lot of that is actually execution eh. Practical sense po eh. Logistical aspects, ganyan.
Yes.
Ang nagiging outlet ko naman po in terms of course, creating art and then teaching art is my teaching job, yun po. Yun yung nangyayari. So I think somehow give and take sila together as both as two career paths, kumbaga.
Yes. So saan ba talaga nag-start itong interest mo sa, let's say, sa filmmaking? Kasi parang yung background ng family mo is more sa architecture, right? So,
Opo.
paano ka na humaling? Of course, both are visual arts pa rin naman, no? Pero paano ka na humaling, no? Got interested in filmmaking? Saan ka nagsimula? Of course, pumapasok na tayo sa yesteryears
Opo.
mo, no? Sa kabataan mo, sa pagkabata mo. Ito na with, of course, your background sa likod, no? Obviously, halatang very playful ka, of course, with
Opo.
those mga figurines ng mga superheroes. Pero saan talaga nag-start to?
When I was in high school, I was actually a journalist po, Sir Joey. So I was part of the
Ah,
campus paper. I was a
okay.
cartoonist.
Ah,
So I
okay.
was making yung mga editorial cartoons, ganyan, etc.
Yes.
And then I got interested with photojournalism. So I attended workshops and then
Oo.
became a photojournalist.
Ano pa lang to? High school, ah? High
High school
school.
po.
Oo,
I
high
was also
school.
attending press conferences, regional press conferences during that time. And then I think it's really because of photojournalism that I got interested to take film going to college, because it's really, the utilization of cameras. That's why when I was in college, I was also interested with documentary filmmaking,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
somehow I think it's the direct collateral of ano
Oo.
po talaga of photojournalism. So
Yes,
uh
yes.
I got ideas of creating films. It was a time that I was really enjoying watching a lot of films, ganyan. My sister was already studying architecture in UP, and she had classes under Ramon Bautista ng
Oh,
film. May ganun
oo,
po
oo,
siya.
oo nga, si Ramon
Yun po.
Bauti. Okay.
So I was also in constant conversation with my sister. She was telling me that eto ganito yung film, ganyan, etc. And I I really got interested with film. And then I was asked, kasi I was really planning on taking communication arts pagdating ng college. But
Oo.
my mom said, baka mas gusto mo ng film. Kasi parang recently, I think my mom also was able to observe that I'm gaining this an interest in film generally, no?
Oo.
So, since I was a photojournalist and nagkaroon din po kasi ako ng parang ano na din, small portfolio. Kasi yung sa regional press conferences, may mga ano po yun competitions.
Ah, ah.
So, I
So may
also
mga
got to,
outputs mo.
opo, may outputs po, may awards din po, ganyan.
Oo, so kinolate mo.
Opo. And then when I was fourth year high school, and I was actually looking for a scholarship
Okay.
nung mag-first year college na po. Kasi yung ate kuya ko po, ano po sila, scholars sila.
Ah, okay.
So, parang
So
I
syempre
also
parang
want,
ikaw gusto mo rin.
na-pressure po
Sana,
ako.
oo.
So gusto ko ding makakuha ng scholarship. And during my time, it was only Benilde and UP na merong what do you call this? Film program.
Correct.
Hindi po ako pumasa ng Diliman. Ibang campus po ako pumasa. So sabi ko, okay, so I guess out of the picture na ang
Diliman.
UP Diliman. So I applied in Benilde, but definitely it's the tuition fee is really expensive. So I
Oo.
applied for a scholarship. And I think my background in photojournalism helped me secure the scholarship. So I got into Benilde filmmaking under the School of Design and Arts grant. So nakakuha po ako ng
Ah.
scholarship. Ayun po.
Galing. So yun pala yung naging storya mo, and that's why we got each other's no?
Opo.
Identity na, kasi nakilala ko na kayo, no, as my students. Ito na yon. And kailan ka
Opo.
pumasok ng Benilde nga?
It's 2010. Oh my God. It's
Grabe.
11 years ago.
Grabe. And this
Yun
was
po.
like yesterday
Oo
lang.
nga po.
Parang yesterday lang yun. Tapos ngayon nagtuturo ko, faculty member ka
Faculty
na.
na po ako.
Grabe. And during that time, 2010, I was bata pa din. so medyo din ako noon. 2010. Parang second year ko sa Benilde. Because I got in 2009.
Opo.
Invited by Professor Jab Garcia. 2009. So 2010. Pero hindi naman first year ka agad ko kayo naging estudyante. Parang
Ano,
baka
Actually,
2011.
first year po, Sir Joey.
So champion.
It's the last term of the year. So,
Kasi
actually, baka
trisem,
20.
no?
Opo.
Trisem kasi tayo.
Part of the year po ng 2011.
First year pa lang naging teacher nyo na ako.
Opo.
Oh my gosh, that fast, no? And ayan na, ang lalaki nyo na. Kasi dati mga ano pa kayo, para mga bibwit pa kayong maliliit na makukulit, na ang papayat.
Payat pa rin naman po.
Oo na, hindi ngayon nagkalaman ka na eh. May mas papayat ka pang ganyan, mapayat. Tapos, sino pa ba yung mga kabatchmate mo? Of course, si
Anya Zulueta, Glenmark Doromal, Ayu Martinez.
Oo, sina Ayu.
Pepay Ortaliza, yan po.
Oo, si Pepay. Oo. PHS year to, no? Si Pepay. Oh, and yan, kilala ko pa nga kayo up to now. And nakakatuwa nga na, ayan na, biglang heto na. So, nagka-interest ka na, eto na, nagkaroon ka na ng chance to go into the college with your preferred degree program, which is eto na yun. Talagang gusto mo talaga ito, yung digital film.
Digital filmmaking po.
Because you wanted to be a director. Yun ba yung way of thinking mo na digital filmmaking? I want to be a filmmaker. Ganun ba? Hindi mo ba inisip I want to be a film designer?
Actually, ang gusto ko po talaga at first was to be a writer. As in a script writer po talaga. Of course, I also want to direct, but ako po yung nasa perspective that I want to direct if I have written the script.
Okay.
Siya talaga.
So,
mas
kasi sabi mo nga, di ba, nasa school paper ka eh. So, though more on photojournalist ka, pero you also write well, I suppose, Iro, no? Kasi
actually,
sa mga
naging
papers,
editor din po ako nung ano na. Opo.
Okay,
kasi
higher years na.
We're also, parang nung high school, the campus paper was also very open in terms of us wanting to learn other forms of journalism. So
correct.
I was really interested with writing din po talaga. So I was writing editorials po nung high school din. Yun po. I actually really love writing and reading.
Baka meron ka namang gustong i-shoutout na high school mentor mo, na dati mong teacher na talagang medyo kumbaga nagturo sa'yo.
Si Miss Miss Juliet Valdez. She was my journalism teacher also, and of course meron pa po isa, I forgot, baka mapagalitan ako.
Pero saan ka ba nag-high school? Diyan sa may Quezon City?
Sa Quezon City po. I'm not really sure if hindi po siya sikat na school eh.
Okay. No, but ano ba siya? Private school ba siya? Or
private school po. Private Catholic school po.
Catholic school din.
Catholic school po ako from bata hanggang sa college.
Kakatuwa. And diyan ka na lumaki sa Quezon City, no? Diyan ka talaga nagkamalay. Kumbaga diyan ka talaga nag-grow up. Okay. So, ayan. And of course, nagtuloy-tuloy ka na. Hanggang sa kailan kayo graduate ang batch mo?
We graduated 2013 po. 3 years.
Bilis.
Yun po.
2013 then, you made sabak na sa advertising. That was one of your earliest projects.
Kinda po. Kasi October 2013 po ako nag-graduate. So sabi ko, gusto ko din magpahinga. Ganyan. So I started January 2014 working po. And what's funny, Sir Joey, because I really don't want to be a production designer during that time. I applied an editing job. So I was an editor. Editor po ako, and I do offline and online editing during that time.
Okay.
Ayun po.
Pero hindi siya work from home?
Hindi po, as in office po talaga.
Pumapasok ka sa office. Tapos I'm sure hindi mo rin na-expect na magtuturo ka din, ano?
Hindi ko rin po na-expect na magtuturo din ako. So medyo, I'm not sure, parang kakaibang destiny siya.
Parang ibang path yung dinaanan mo bigla, no?
Opo.
And you were thinking that this was like your path, but surprisingly, parang nag-tweak, no? And then parang, but was the decision right for you when you chose this other path?
I think it's right naman, Sir Joey, because I think I'm actually thinking that it's for a bigger picture. Because when I started as an editor, it really helped me understand narrative storytelling. And then after being an editor, actually decided I want to do AD track. So I was doing the logistical stuff.
Assistant director, AD.
Opo. And then even acting. So I had to learn acting somehow, and then be able to control and manage people.
Correct.
Until my boss wanted me to try production design, because I've been doing production design for short films back in college. So they wanted to start this passion projects. What if we try doing those? So I tried doing production design for ads. And then I think the good part of doing ang ayoko lang naman po talaga na maging trabaho dati yung PD is because it's really a tedious work. So let's say for example,
madetalye, no?
Madetalye po siya. Let's say for example, you're trying to recreate a hospital. You need to understand the space of a hospital. Or maybe a law firm, di ba? What do lawyers have in their space, di ba? Tamad po ako originally. So ako po yung kind ng tamad na, okay, sige, mas gusto ko na mas madali. But kung kailangan talaga, then doon ako mag-exert ng effort talaga na aralin. And I know within myself na kapag nakapunta ako sa situation na yun, talagang dedire-diretsuhin ko yun. Kailangan kalimutan na tamad ako.
So, hindi, ano lang yan, siguro baka face mo lang yan. Kasi masipag ka kaya, grabe. Kilala kita, grabe yung mga outputs nyo nga talagang career. So, hindi, baka may tamad face. Very usual sa artist.
May tamad face lang.
Oo, may tamad face, and for sure, tamad face yung naramdaman mo ng time na yon.
Opo. I think it's really because fresh grad din po ako noon time na yun.
Pagod ka pa noon or something. Or baka kasi, pero yung batch nyo din, mahilig din mag-socialize, ha? Parang, I know, is you actually go to mga coffee shops or, di ba, mga bars. Di ba, nagwawalwal nga kayo, di ba?
Those were the days, ano?
Parang, di ba, may alam ako, no? Pero, usually kasi ako, I connect with my students talaga. And siguro yun yung pinaka-gift of conversing or communicating with students. Nakakabagets.
Opo.
Nakakabagets. So that's a proven fact, no. Kasi iba yung way of thinking ng mga bagets and ng mga young students, no.
Actually ginagaya ko nga kayo, Sir Joey, as a teacher eh. Gusto ko nagiging friends ko yung mga bata.
Oo, kasi parang two ways kasi yan. Either you want to antagonize them. That's one way to discipline, is antagonize. And that's what actually I learned, from my previous, mga old generation of discipline talaga people. And talaga sila, very strict talaga. At saka talaga matututo ka. Pero the other way is yun nga, you get to know the plight of each student and to be able to hook them with using your affection also, aside from your intellect. Syempre, intellect is there eh. Alam naman natin that they actually go to school to learn that intellect. Opo. But it's not just about the intellect. That when you get to be holistic, no, in really learning, it's not, diba, teachers should also get into their affection and even their psychomotor. Kaya nga iba pinapatayo, di ba? Yung iba, kumilos kayo, may activity, nakikilos kayo, magsushoot kayo. Kahit na hindi nyo pa alam, because of the theories, why are we doing this? The mere fact that you're exercising the psychomotor of the students, malaking bagay na yun. Kasi that can actually trigger their curiosity.
Creative.
Exactly, na parang, bakit natin ginagawa to? Sandali. Bilis na kasi wala na tayong time makipag-argue. Yan. Di ba usually pag press for time, di ba may ganyan nga si Sir Jag, kaya gusto si Sir Jag. Yung ano yun, 24 ba yun or something?
20, Doomsday din
Doomsday,
po.
correct.
Yun.
Na-excite kaya ako doon sa Doomsday. Syempre, parang baka hindi na ngayon. Pero Doomsday is like giving you the chance, di ba, parang with specified number of hours to be highly creative.
Yes, opo.
And then at a young, yes, at a young age, na sobrang ang dami mo ng stimuli on creativity and artistry, ibubuhos mo siya using that time span. Kaya sobrang sabi ko, in fairness, ang genius din nung idea, which I think nagtagal siya actually for a couple of years, no? Nagtagal siya sa Binil na nilulook forward, 'di ba? Parang Doomsday.
Actually, meron pa rin po talaga Sir Joey, na halt lang because of the pandemic.
Okay. Pero 'di ba, ang saya nun. Maganda rin 'yun, no, virtually.
It's really a good training.
Hindi, maganda rin Doomsday using virtual. Sige nga. What you have at home. And
work
then
with
how yes, and working with Russian montage, 'di ba?
Actually, yes.
'Di ba, the collage, no, of objects lang, you can tell a story. Why can't they do it? You know, the Russians did it. Why can't the Filipinos have the opportunity? So maganda din, kumbaga parang basta kahit sama naman dali ng artist gagawa at mag-create ka na mag-create. Whether writing, whether singing, nagkakaraoke ka ba? Baka maganda maganda ba boses mo? Sakto.
I hope. Sakto na po ito.
Baka maganda. Hindi ko pa narinig ever. Kasi
nag-VO ako sa Sir Joey. Nag-VO ako.
Nag-voice over ka din. So, at least pwede mo. Kasi maganda ang diction mo.
Thank you, sir.
So, kumbaga yan. So, maganda rin naman na you are recognized as an awarded production designer at a young age. And at the same time, you do a lot of things. No? Ano pa ba gusto mo? Ayan, papunta na tayong future mo So ano pa bang gusto mo? You're an accomplished designer at a young age. I mean, sabihin na nga natin yung age mo kasi ang sobrang bata mo. Gusto mo ba sabihin yung age mo?
Okay na naman po. I'm 27 years old right now.
Grabe, 27? Umaakyat ng entablado, guys. Para kumuha ng tropeyo. 27 at 27, nakatambay lang ako, Iro. I was like a late bloomer. Parang nakagano lang. Ay, hindi na 27 pala yung na-realize ko na kailangan ko ng graduate ng undergrad. So nakuha ko yung undergraduate ko at 27.
Okay po.
So late bloomer talaga ako. Late bloomer akong nag-develop ng career. Kayo talagang sobrang aga ng development nyo. At 27, ano pa ang gusto mong maging? Or ano pa ang mga projects that will really excite your senses, Iro?
Actually, right now po, meron po kasi akong constantly na sinusulat na script. So it's really something that I want to, direct in the future. So I still want to direct. And then I'm also looking forward to getting another degree. So actually, it's really between landscape architecture or interior design. Yun po yung iniisip ko. Because I also want, the thing with production design, it's temporary. When I create the sets, it's temporary. But if I, let's say, practice interior design, somehow it's permanent. Diba?
Tama. Brilliant to na.
Diba?
Brilliant to na.
So I really want to explore that part. And I'm also looking forward to getting my MA also. Yun po.
Ganda. Ang ganda nung book mo. Temporality/permanence. Ang ganda. Kasi the dualism of designing. Ang ganda. Ang ganda. Naisipan kita kaagad ng librong isusulat mo. Siyempre, ikaw na yun. Siyempre, yung experiences mo doing temporal designs for sets, for theater, for film, or for television, for TVC, and then permanent design for
For
landscaping
landscaping,
or
for interior design.
interior.
Yun po.
Kasi nga mommy mo is an interior designer din
Interior design po
pala.
yung mom
So
ko po.
talagang complete package na kayo dyan na a family of designers.
Designers.
Ang galing. So yan ang parang one of your, of course, yung pag-aaral is just a one step closer to you because you're teaching, no? And
Opo.
ano lang talaga yan, madali lang yan for you. It's a matter of where to study. Kasi
Opo.
pwede ka mag-study abroad, mag-iiba ang talent fee mo, Iro. Alam mo naman ang Philippine setup natin na kapag nakapag-aral sa ibang bansa, iba ang tingin nila. So kaya marami nag-aaral syempre given the opportunity and the chances.
Opo.
Why not, 'di ba? Lalo na kung may scholarship ka. Pwede ka na mag-apply kunyari Fulbright or kunyari na Yale University whatever professorial scholarship, 'di ba? And sobrang dami sa Amerika, sa Europe, even Asia, ha. We have a lot of good schools. Oo, na top talaga performing schools, universities, colleges in Asia, such as the NUS, National University of Singapore. You also go to Hong Kong, as ilang kebot lang, Hong Kong na. Meron din the Hong Kong Arts Academy. Tapos alam ko may isa pa for film. Of course, you have Korea.
Opo. Actually, I'm also looking at Korea, Sir
Yun na
Joey.
nga. Naku, andun na. Sa Korea, grabe. Inaaral ko kasi ngayon ng Korean culture. Grabe ang sipag nila pala talaga.
Opo.
Grabe ang support system ng government.
Ng government po talaga.
Ng government. Kahit na yung proposal mo hindi masyadong hinog pa, support nila. Magbibigay pa rin ng grant.
Para mahinog po.
Oo. Kung sasabihin nila na hilaw pa tong mo, pero bibigyan ka namin ng grant kasi we will support you along the way. Ganun sila ka. So, kung ikaw yung artist, paengganyo ka. Ikaw ba wala ka bang frustrations, let's say, or ganung setup, or hindi, parang naniniwala ka, may hope pa rin naman ng Philippines na par with the Korean fame and credibility in terms of arts?
Well, somehow frustrated po ako. I will be honest with that one. But I'm still hoping that we can be at par with the international cinema, kumbaga. Because I think part of it, there were a lot of changes during the pandemic. And, it caused us to change.
Yes.
So, and somehow, I think that's also one step to being at par with the international cinema. So I'm still hoping, actually, Sir Joey. And that's also the reason why I wanted to study abroad. Because if I can study abroad and then go back here someday, maybe we can apply what I have learned also outside.
Yes.
And then elevate everyone else with me.
Maganda nga. Maganda yung plans. And I really wish you the best of luck when it comes to that aspirations. Kasi you are kayo na ang susunod na generation who will really represent the country. And generation yun na rin. Of course, andito pa naman kami, buhay pa naman kami. Pero siyempre, we would like to help the young ones, the youngsters. The young generation to climb up the ladder as well. Kasi ano din sa atin dito yung parang, kami muna ha, tumigil muna kayo.
May ganun nga po.
Which, it's very unlikely na, di ba parang ako naniniwala kasi mga bata ang pag-asa Mga bata yung pag-asa. So, as early as, as they can experience the pain, the suffering, the failures, pagawa na natin habang bata pa kasi 'di ba? Kasi dapat hindi na nila gawin na nung matanda na saka pumapalpak, no? Saka nagkakaroon ng failure. Maganda na bata pa lang, sige na. Kumbaga parang paliguan mo na ng maraming sufferings and pains and failures para yun ang baon nila, correct. Pag lumaki sila, may baon na sila. And meron ka bang parang dream artist na gusto mo talagang makatrabaho yung gusto mo talaga silang ma-experience when it comes to world-class filmmaking, ganon. Meron ka bang yung ano na lang din, one step na lang makakausap mo talaga sila or baka nga nakausap mo na? Meron ka bang ganon?
Baka dream po siya, but I'm still hoping that it's possible somehow. I guess it's really because childhood filmmaker ko siya, I would say, no, si
Okay.
Spielberg.
Sino ba
ganyan
to?
po.
Steven Spielberg.
Ganun po.
Naku,
Pero
baka
of course,
matanda na, no? Parang
oo nga
matanda na
po.
yata si Steven Spielberg.
But
Pero sana maabutan mo pa.
sana maabutan
Sana
ko po.
patawag ka na niya. Oh, I want Eero Eves or Eero Ives from the Philippines. I want to get him here. Pagputay mo dito, I'm gonna do the last Jurassic. Ganon. Pupunta ka, pagpapalit mo lahat yan. Kunyari lang.
Parang okay lang naman doon yun, ano, Sir Joe.
Oo, kunyari
okay
Jurassic.
Lang naman yun.
Huling installment niya. Kunyari,
Opo.
gusto niyang gumawa ng huling installment ng Jurassic Park series niya, no? Kasi lahat hit di ba? Gusto niyang gumawa. And nakita niya yung potentialities ng Asia. Kasi siguro nakikita niya Asia. Alam mo yung mga tao, hindi ko alam yung mga Europeans. Based on history, so medyo factual siya. Pag mamamatay na Asia, lagi yung naalala nila.
Oh my God.
Ewan ko what's maybe because mystical daw kasi yung Asian countries And very tayo, di ba parang nare-retain sa utak natin. Because Asians are normally mga very very warm. Di ba sila yung malambing?
Opo.
Sila yung... So, nagmamark yung mga sa European, Western thinking, hindi kasi ganun sila, di ba? They're very wall, professional.
Opo.
Yung trabaho lang tayo, wala tayong established relationship dito. Trabaho lang. Pero pag mamamatay na sila, ang naisip nila, kasi yung mga playwrights na inaral ko, yung mga directors na European, Asia yung last phase ng kanilang works. Body of work nila ay puro Asian inspired.
Oh.
Tingnan mo yan. Tingnan mo yung aspeto na yan, malay mo, di ba? Madala mo yan, ma-represent mo. Kasi ganito, syempre si Steven Spielberg, pag pumunta ka doon, sasabihin niya yung naiisip niya. Okay, yung naiisip niya usually, syempre kung ano yung karanasan niya. So Western, of course, Western influence. Ikaw ang kinuha. Tapos gusto niya, bigyan mo ako ng mundo ng Asian setting.
Opo.
Ganon. Yung very, di ba, ang Mulan nga, yung Mulan, kung napanood mo yung Mulan, di ba, parang may it's like a mixture already of Western but it looks Asian, but the way they behave, it's like in a Western cardboard, no? Parang ganon. Ito talagang yung senses niya dapat very Asian.
Actually, I have this favorite costume designer, Sir Joey, si Eiko Ishioka. With siya po yung nag-design nung Dracula ni Francis Ford Coppola. Tapos basta ang po niya, actually if you try to
pinaglaban niya yung kultura, parang ganon Asian, ganon.
Hindi siya English design. It's really a mix of cultures. Ganun siya. And then you can actually see, you know how Japanese people think in terms of art. May pagkaganong approach siya in terms of creating her designs. That's why, actually, isa nga siya sa gusto ko po sana makatrabaho kung sakali. But actually, Eiko Ishioka is unfortunately dead na po.
Nag-pass on na.
Opo.
Ano ba ito? May edad na?
Matanda na po siya Opo.
Sayang. But, I watched yung Alice in Borderland. Have you watched that?
I haven't seen po. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. But it's a Japanese, no? It's a Japanese-driven. No, it's a Japanese TV series. Okay, Japanese. Pero Western world. Kasi parang yung Western yung concept. Pero lumilitaw yung, maybe because of the language. No? Kasi Japanese Japanese. So probably,
The
ang strong,
culture.
oo.
Opo.
Pero lumalabas pa rin yung pagka-Japanese, no? Probably yung behavior ng characters are not influenced by the Western.
Opo.
So, nagiging landscape lang tuloy yung
world
nila.
Opo, yung pagkakagawa ng yung American
Yes.
or Western parts.
Yes, pero yung samurai, yung
Opo.
concept ng harakiri, itong mga cultural
Traditional.
affiliations, yes, na traditional Japanese, ay baka kitang-kita mo. So that's why nung pinapanood ko siya, it's a 1 season ay 2 seasons yata or something. Pero mas nagustuhan ko siya doon sa Squid Game kasi pinanood ko muna yung Squid Game and then Alice in Borderland. Pero technically pala, ang nauna, Alice in Borderland. Bago lumabas yung Squid Game.
The Squid Game.
Pag pinal mo yung Alice in Borderland, medyo hihina yung
Squid Game.
Yung pagkagusto mo sa Squid Game. Bakit? Kasi parang may repetition na nangyari. Oo, parang inadapt, parang in a way. Kasi nga 2018 pa pala tong Alice in Borderland. However, dahil nga Korean pop culture, alam mo na. So, mas nag-2021 lang naman, 2020, recent lang. Pero kasi, na-catch ng Korean yung yung taste ng global, no?
Ng global society.
Yes. Shucks. So I'm very, very excited for you. And nasa last, na tayo, ito na yon. Bago tayo mag-preferences and choices, parang fast talk. Any words of inspiration for your mga fans out there? Fans talaga. Or mga followers or subscribers or baka kasi may gusto kang i-promote na YouTube channel na pwedeng nila mapanood yung mga the makings mo or baka mga behind the scenes and they look up to you. Saan ka nila matatagpuan? You can share your social media with them also. Kasi most of our audiences are the youth, no? Yung mga bagets. No? Sige.
I guess in general, I think ito naman po yung sinasabi ko with most I guess students or apprentices asking for advice from me. It's when you create, try your best to say what you want to say and make sure that there's a reason why you want to say that. Why? Because if you are passionate in telling that kind of story, may it be, let's say you're an editor, production designer, scriptwriter, director, or even cinematographer, you will tell that using your craft. I mean, like for example, for me, kasi production design is a way for, designers to rewrite the script. Yeah. And I always go back to what the film is trying to say and why. Make sure that you want to be in that same voice. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if you don't believe in that voice, you cannot tell that story. Yeah. And we collaborators, all of us department heads within a film, we unite together to deliver the same idea.
Yes.
Yun siya. So it's important that you agree with the project that you're handling or with the vision, the voice of the film that you're creating. Because otherwise, then why are you doing that project? Yes. Yan. So I guess yun ang pinaka masasabi ko siguro with aspiring filmmakers also, those who want to direct, design, write, edit, and shoot. Yun po siguro. I only have Instagram. So if you guys want to be in touch with me, you can message me over Facebook. It's Ero Ives Francisco. You can add me or you can follow me on Instagram. I will respond to you if you guys have questions. It's EEROYVES, Ero Ives.
Ero Ives. Okay, at Instagram. No? Galing. Yay, thank you so much. And hindi pa tayo tapos. Last na, very quick lang. It's a fast talk. It's actually a tribute to Tito Boy Abunda, and it's what we call preferences and choices. Okay, so randomly, I'll give you two words here for you to choose one. Okay, hello or goodbye.
Hello.
Aso or pusa.
Aso.
Adobo or sinigang.
Sinigang.
Okay. Like mo ang sinigang. Anong klaseng sinigang? Baboy. Baka. Beef. So favorite mo pala yon. Now I know. Sipag o tiyaga?
Tiyaga.
Tiyaga. Ika nga pang mahabaan ng tiyaga eh, no?
Opo.
Kailangan tiyaga. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Okay. Ganda o talino?
Talino.
Okay. Maulan o maaraw?
Maaraw na lang. Kasi
okay,
maaraw sa ulan.
Bakit? Medyo gloomy sa'yo pag ulan, no?
Ano siya, Sir Joey, hindi ko alam kung experience ko to. Pag lumalabas ako ng bahay, umuulan.
Ay! Nako, baka makakakampi mo yan. Aralin mo maigi. Bakit kaya umuulan lagi pag lumalabas ka? My gosh.
Opo. As in, for example,
umulan dyan, no? Umulan dito kanino, ang lakas.
In Binil, pagpapasok po ako ng classes, uulan. Pagpasok ko ng building, titigil ang ulan.
Ganon. Oh my gosh, nakakaloka yun. Eto, tahimik o maingay?
Tahimik.
Okay. Country life or city life?
Country life.
Hannes type mo, given a chance, no? Gusto tumira sa probinsya. Ganon.
Opo.
Cafe or resto?
Cafe.
Condo or townhouse?
Townhouse.
Okay. Sedan or SUV?
Sedan.
Amas type mo ang mababa.
Opo.
I mean lowered, no?
Opo.
Okay. Fried or steamed?
Steamed.
Healthy, Hindi ka masyado sa fried. Or meron din, pero preferred mo ang steam talaga.
Meron po, pero ayoko po kasi ng oily. Kasi feeling ko nagiging oily face ako.
Okay. Alright. Sweet or salty?
Salty.
Salty. Film or television?
Film.
Film talaga. Ito, in whatever context, long or short?
Long.
Long. Fat or thin?
Thin, because I'm thin.
On or off?
On.
On. Nakakatulog ka ba ng may
off
ilaw?
lights po.
Kailangan off.
Any po actually.
Any. So basta pagod ka, makakatulog ka.
Opo.
Okay. Gising or tulog?
Tulog.
Mahaba ka matulog?
Mahaba po.
I mean, given
matulog.
a chance.
Given a chance po. Opo.
Mga 12 hours, gano'n.
Opo.
Ibig sabihin, kulang na kulang yung katawan mo ng tulog.
Opo,
no?
ng tulog.
Okay. Quiz or assignment?
Assignment.
Magturo o magdirect?
Mag-direct.
Kesa magturo? Charot.
Kasi feeling ko, Sir Joey, kapag nag-direct ako, yung
para ka na rin
ay nagtuturo.
Okay. Oo nga. Yung synonymous no? Parang gano'n.
Opo.
O sige, dahil magturo o mag-design?
Mag-design din. In the same concept,
So, tahi-tahi sila, no? In a way.
Opo.
Kasi pag nade-design ka, may team ka ng tinuturuan mo kung paano yung execution, no?
Opo.
So it's similar. Internet or mobile phone?
Internet.
Okay, kasi kailangan mo, no?
Opo.
Kailangan mo. Kahit na naka-desktop ka, okay lang.
Opo.
Okay, eto, complete a sentence. Konti na lang to. Nung bata pa ako, mahilig akong...
Nung bata ako, mahilig ako mag-drawing.
Yeah. Kaya nga, so magaling ka din talaga mag-drawing, no? I mean, na-articulate mo yung namana.
Nakukuha ko naman po. Opo.
So, kanino mo namana to? Mommy?
Feeling ko both parents naman
Okay.
po.
Both
Opo.
naman. Galit ako kapag
nagugulo ang mga props.
Ano ka ba? OC ka ba?
Ano naman, Sir Joey, ayoko lang nang nasisira yung props kasi technically they're my assets. So I want to take care of them. And kung nagugulo sila, nasisira po sila.
Nasisira. So, at nanghihinayang ako kapag
matalino pero tamad.
At meron kang nakikilala mga ganon?
Ako po.
Ikaw.
Ako pala mukha. Yes, matalino ako. Ganon.
Matalino ka pero tinatamad ka, naiinis ka rin, ano?
Opo, kasi
tinatamad ngayon para may ganon ka.
Opo, nasasayang yung talino. Ang tingin ko po.
Eto last, pagising ko, ang una kong ginagawa ay
uminom ng kape.
So, ngayon ko, kumbaga parang patuloy kang umiinom ng coffee. Anong klaseng timpla to?
Hot coffee po na
black or mix?
At times po black, minsan po may milk, but definitely less sugar.
Okay.
Opo.
So pero sa set, yan ang unang hinihingi mo din?
Pag sa set po, hindi po. Water po ako.
Hindi ka nagko-coffee during the shoot?
Nagko-coffee naman din po, pero siguro ano na lang, afternoon na, hindi po sa morning. Mas water po ako kapag sa shoot.
Morning?
Opo.
Bakit? Ayaw mong napalpitate ka kapag coffee? Or hindi
parang, ang shoots po kasi usually sobrang aga. So it's not really, I don't really want to super wake up myself, kumbaga. But I want to manage my body kasi feeling ko po yung coffee ay nakaka-dehydrate. Ganun po.
Yeah. So, and you don't smoke naman, ano?
Hindi po.
Ever since, no? Hindi ka na
po.
So, yay, at least maganda. Thank you so much, Iro, for this wonderful episode. Sobrang refreshing sa akin, no? That, I get to learn a lot from my former students, no? Dahil, di ba ganon? Parang two-way talaga ang teacher-student relationship. Talagang may matututunan ka talaga sa mga estudyante mo na alam din naman nila na sila matututo din from their mentors, from their teachers, no? And kaya napakagandang relationship na dinidevelop talaga all throughout the years, no? Hindi nagbabago. Katulad mo, kaya maraming salamat, Iro, sa inspirasyon, maraming salamat sa pagiging bukas mo sa profession mo, at maganda na share mo siya sa kapwa mo, and hopefully yung parang intentions mo of doing artistry, maging advocate mo rin siya soon, no? Probably sa ating community sa Philippines or elsewhere, no, pwedeng sa labas ng community. And bibit-bitin mo to kahit saan ka magpunta, Iro, kasi naging part na siya ng kung sino si Iro Yves Francis.
Salamat po, sir. Actually, malaking part din po kayo sa kung sino po ako today. So, maraming salamat
really
po.
I'm so really proud. And huwag ka mapagod. Minsan nakaka-burnout kasi talaga. Magbakasyon lang. Pwede naman yon. Punta ka ng province, punta ka ng beach. You deserve that. Because you're so hardworking and your team, dalhin mo sila, mag-outing kayo. Of course, if everyone is safe na when it comes to, syempre, yung pandemic, no, yung health protocols, no. And syempre, yun ang pinaka-wish ko sa'yo with the best health. Kasi aanhin mo naman yung galing mo, talento mo, kung tigukay ka dahil wala din mangyayari. So, you have to take care of yourself, and yourself should be the center of your artistic activity. So, from loob, palabas. Huwag yung palabas, paloob. Oo, maganda yung galing mo sa loob. Unahin mo yung sarili mo, syempre. Kailangan healthy ka, kailangan sa kakondisyon ka, kailangan alam mo yung hangganan ng iyong trabaho, and then family life naman, ganon. So, and then friends, and then relatives. So, kumbaga para talagang center mo palabas. Mas positive yun. And with that, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nakinig po at nanood ngayong hapon. Thank you so much again, Iro. And hope to see you soon. Hope to see your works. Naku, napakadami on Netflix lang and all over, film festivals natin, national film festivals natin like Cinemalaya, no? And sana magtuloy-tuloy pa rin. Sana yung Cinema One Originals makabalik kasi malaking tulong yung Q Cinema, di ba? Q Cinema Film Festival. Sana lahat ng mga film festivals magbalikan na. Of course, your TV projects, kung may TV series projects ka, sana dumami pa. And your TVC, mga TVC projects mo ay dumami pa. So I wish you well. Maraming salamat po. This has been your CONVO Confessions and Volitions with yours truly, Joey Ting. At kasama po natin ngayong hapon, of course, ang nag-iisang Iro Yves Francisco. Bye everyone. I'll see you. Bye.